Hello. So I had an idea. Not a good idea, but an idea nonetheless. And that idea was to put gloom on Mirage. And well, it didn't work out as planned.
Contamination dropping. Exelyzer suppressed. Purge it before it makes the contamination worse. Now the Exelyzer's purged. Any casualties you inflict within its field will bring the contamination level down. You just lost an Exelyzer to possession. Get it back.
So as you saw, we started having issues around level 400 with energy, and we weren't able to maintain gloom. And without gloom on, well, we can actually start taking damage, as you can see. And here is our build for our Mirage, focused on strength, range, and duration. Strength to help with gloom slow, as well as the lifesteal, 95%, 14%. Along with Eclipse and Hall of Mirrors, the increase in damage as well as the damage increase buff on Eclipse. The duration was meant for Eclipse and Hall of Mirrors, that way I didn't have to refresh them as often. But now that I think about it, maybe it might work if I reduce the duration and just learn to refresh it as often and put more stuff on efficiency, because like I said, energy was a big problem in surviving. But yeah, this is what I had on it. Mult augmented to help with the strength, and then mult efficiency to help with the duration once they're finally stacked up to max. And then to help with that build, we had a companion, which is Dariga, because our coil is cool. And then our Verglass Prime modded for radiation, cold, and corrosive. Now, I don't know if radiation and cold are a good mix together. I feel like they're not, because if they're slowed or frozen or whatever, then radiation confusing them, I feel like really wouldn't do much. And we had corrosive to help with the armored units. That way we can actually shred them. And then the build we were using, or rather the weapon we were using, was the Boar Prime. Shout out to King Scuba for this build. I kind of followed it to the T. But we had Toxic Barrage, Toxin, because primary Blight. And then we also had Dual Toxis and the Glaive Prime, but we didn't really use these. Mainly Boar Prime. And then we have Matarai, because Matarai and I believe Zenuric are the only good schools to use during a Void Cascade. Not too sure though. I know this is probably a different vibe of video than what you guys are probably used to, which is probably like build guides or I don't know, something of that sort, a quote unquote success story. But sometimes you have to fail to improve and learn. And if you guys can somehow make gloom work on Mirage, let me know, because I really want gloom on Mirage. I don't know why, I just think it's a cool idea. But either way, thank you so much for watching. If you could like, comment, and subscribe. You don't have to comment, but if you want to, go for it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.